Dear spectators of the human tragedy, you think you can dance with the storm, don't you? You believe you're the master of chaos, pulling strings like a puppet master in a theater of shadows. But let me tell you something, fate is a relentless beast, one that doesn't flinch or falter. Every action you take, every smirk you wear as you plod in the dark, has a consequence. The universe doesn't forget. It waits, patiently, like a predator stalking its prey, ready to pounce when you least expect it. Oh, the illusion of control. How sweet it is. You sit atop your throne, surrounded by sycophants, drowning in your own delusions of grandeur. You think you can unleash chaos without it biting back. You underestimate the forces you stir. The storm you conjure does not discriminate, it devours everything in its path. And when it turns its gaze upon you, when the winds shift and the thunder roars, you'll find that power is a double-edged sword. Do you hear that? It's the sound of poetic justice, a melody composed by the very hands that once crafted your downfall. You wanted to drown me in despair, to erase my existence as if it were nothing more than a fading whisper. But the storm you stirred, oh, how it relishes in your hubris. The very winds you unleashed now hull your name in mockery. The tempest you fed now feasts on your arrogance, and I stand here, a witness to your unraveling. In the heart of darkness, I found clarity. While you wallow in your self-importance, I embraced the shadows. They are not my enemies, they are my allies. I have danced with despair and emerged unscathed. I have learned that there is power in solitude, in the silence that surrounds a broken heart. You see, your attempts to crush me only forged my resolve. Every sneer, every betrayal, every underhanded move you made fueled the fire within me. Look around you. The walls you built to hide your fears are crumbling. The very foundation of your empire is shaking, and the storm you thought you controlled is turning on you. Fate laughs, oh, how it laughs. You thought you could wield it like a weapon, yet here you are, standing at the precipice of your own demise, staring into the abyss you created. What is power if not a fleeting illusion? What are you if not a shadow of your former self? You've built a castle of cards, and now it stands ready to collapse. The weight of your arrogance is a heavy burden, and the storm is here to collect. You thought you could erase me, but in doing so, you ignited a fire that will consume you whole. Do you feel it? The chill in the air, the crackle of electricity. It's the storm breathing down your neck, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. You can run, you can hide, but denial is a fragile refuge. The storm knows no boundaries, it seeks retribution, and it will find you. And so, as the winds howl and the skies darken, I stand at the eye of this tempest, unyielding and resolute. I am the storm, and I will not be silenced. The consequences of your actions echo through the ages, and you will witness the reckoning you so foolishly invited. The darkness is not my prison, it is my liberation. You stirred the storm to destroy me, but now it devours you whole. Welcome to your poetic justice, my friend. The storm is hungry, and it knows your name. Ah, ambition, what a cruel mistress you are. You whisper sweet promises into eager ears, filling hearts with dreams of power and glory, yet you wear a mask of deception, hiding your true face. How easily the ambitious forget that ambition is a double-edged blade, a relentless hunger that consumes all who dare to embrace it. You see, the architects of my demise believe themselves to be gods, crafting plans as intricate as spider webs, unaware that they themselves were ensnared in their own deceit. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a room filled with smoke, the air thick with the scent of betrayal. Shadows dance upon the walls, mirroring the twisted souls of those who conspire in the darkness. They sit, huddled together, their eyes glowing with a fevered light, dreaming of thrones built on the ashes of their enemies. Each conspirator, a puppet of their own hubris, driven by desires as vast as oceans, yet as shallow as puddles. They think themselves invincible, rulers of a kingdom that exists only in their fevered imaginations. But ambition, my dear listeners, is a blindfold. It wraps around the mind, suffocating reason and clarity. These fools, intoxicated by their own self-importance, failed to see the cracks in their foundation. They underestimated me, the very darkness they sought to extinguish. I was merely a flicker in their eyes, a nuisance to be snuffed out. Yet in their arrogance, they overlooked the storm brewing within me, a tempest waiting for the opportune moment to unleash its fury. As they plotted, weaving their intricate strategies like a spider spinning her web, they forgot one crucial detail: every web is vulnerable to the wind. They thought they could orchestrate my downfall, orchestrated by their own delusions of grandeur. Little did they know, I was merely the bait, the catalyst for their own destruction. The moment they turned their gaze upon me, the storm began to gather, a dark cloud on the horizon whispering promises of reckoning. And oh, how they laughed at my initial vulnerability. They saw a flicker of doubt, a shadow of despair, and they mistook it for weakness. But strength is not found in the absence of fear, it is born from the furnace of adversity. In that moment of darkness, I forged my resolve, honing it as a sword against the oncoming tide. They thought I was drowning, but I was merely learning to swim in the depths of chaos. Now, let us delve deeper into the minds of these conspirators, these architects of my ruin. What drives them? What fuels their unquenchable thirst for power? It is the desire to be remembered, to leave their mark upon the world, even if that mark is painted in blood. They mistake ambition for legacy, unaware that true legacy comes not from destruction, but from the echoes of the choices we make. But ambition, as I said, is a cruel mistress. It isolates, it alienates. The higher they climb, the further they drift from those who once walked beside them. The very power they seek becomes their prison, leaving them shackled in solitude, surrounded by empty echoes of laughter that once filled their halls. In the end, they stand alone, rulers of a kingdom built on treachery, where trust is a forgotten relic and betrayal is the currency of choice. Yet, as they scheme and plot, I watch from the shadows, a silent observer in this grand theater of folly. I feel the storm within me swelling, gathering strength from their misplaced confidence. The moment of reckoning approaches, and with it, the realization that they have sown the seeds of their own demise. The cycle of pride is relentless, my friends. It circles back, time and again, to teach the lessons that ambition so desperately tries to ignore. And as I prepare to reclaim what is rightfully mine, I can't help but smile. For in the depths of darkness, I find not despair, but the promise of justice. The time is coming when the storm will reveal the truth hidden beneath the facade of their power, and I will stand as the harbinger of their reckoning. So let them plot. Let them scheme. The winds are shifting, and the storm is rising. It is a storm of their own making, and soon, it will consume them whole. Welcome to the stage of their demise, where ambition meets its bitter end. Ah, the storm brews, a symphony of chaos that whispers sweet nothings to those who dare to listen. It gathers strength, swirling like a dark vortex, fueled by the very ambitions that sought to extinguish me. In the distance, I hear the rumble of thunder, a warning to the blind and the arrogant. They thought they could dance in the eye of the storm, conjuring winds to sweep me away, but they have awakened a force far greater than themselves, a tempest forged from their own malice. They sit in their ivory towers, blinded by their own hubris, believing they can control the elements as if they were mere pawns in a game. But what they fail to understand is that the storm is not a tool to be wielded, it is a living entity, an unpredictable beast that devours all in its path. As the clouds darken and the winds howl, I feel the energy coursing through me, a powerful current that ignites the very core of my being. I am no longer the flickering flame they sought to extinguish, I am the wildfire consuming the forest. In this gathering storm, I find my purpose. The chaos they unleashed becomes my ally, a dark cloak that wraps around me, shielding me from their prying eyes. I move through the shadows, invisible yet omnipotent, feeling the tide shift beneath their feet. Every whisper of wind carries with it the echoes of their treachery, and as they plot their next move, I prepare my own. They have underestimated the strength that comes from darkness, thinking me weak, but it is in this very darkness that I thrive. The moment of betrayal is upon them, and as the storm rages, I can almost taste their fear. Like a predator circling its prey, I wait for the opportune moment to strike, to unleash the fury that has been simmering within me. They believe they could orchestrate a downfall, but they have forgotten that every maestro must also face the music of their own making. The notes they play are discordant, and soon, they will find themselves lost in a cacophony of their own design. The balance of power shifts like a pendulum, swinging from one side to the other. I stand at the precipice, watching as they scramble, their faces painted with confusion and dread. The storm, once a tool they thought they controlled, now turns against them, a relentless force that will consume every last vestige of their ambition. Their dreams of conquest become nightmares, and I am the specter haunting their every move. The irony is delicious, a bittersweet elixir that I savor. They sought to bury me beneath their ambitions, yet with every gust of wind, I rise, reborn from the ashes of their arrogance. They are now the architects of their own demise, and I am the storm they never saw coming. I embrace it fully, reveling in the chaos, for it is in this maelstrom that I find my true self. As the clouds swell and the skies darken, I hear the echoes of their laughter fading into the distance, replaced by the howling winds that carry my message. Ye sought to destroy me, to erase my existence, yet here I stand, a titan amidst the tempest, ready to reclaim what is rightfully mine. The storm is not merely a force of nature, it is a reckoning, a cleansing fire that will lay bare the truth hidden beneath layers of deceit. Let them watch as the chaos unfolds, for I will not be a mere spectator to their downfall. I will dance in the eye of the storm, a waltz of vengeance and justice, where the lines between hunter and hunted blur. They may have thought they were the puppeteers, but they are nothing more than marionettes, their strings cut by the very storm they sought to command. This is the moment of reckoning, the awakening of the tempest. I am the storm, and I will devour them whole. The cycle of pride, the relentless will that turns, crushing all beneath its weight. It is a dance as old as time, a tragic ballet where the powerful pirouette toward their ruin, blissfully ignorant of the precipice that looms just beyond their gilded stage. They strut and preen, cloaked in the illusion of invincibility, yet every step they take echoes with the whispers of their impending downfall. Look closely, and you'll see the shadows of history writ large upon their backs. Great empires have risen on the wings of pride, only to crumble into dust, their remains scattered like ashes in the wind. It is a lesson carved into the bones of the earth, a truth that reverberates through ages. Those who reach too high often find themselves falling from the very heights they sought to conquer. They are blinded by their own brilliance, mistaking the glow of their ambition for the light of wisdom. But wisdom, my friends, is forged in the depths of darkness, not in the blinding glare of arrogance. As I watch them, perched on their thrones of glass and steel, I see the isolation that ambition breeds. Each victory, each conquest, builds a fortress around their hearts, brick by brick. They think they are kings, but they are merely prisoners of their own making, surrounded by walls that keep the world at bay. In their quest for power, they forget the warmth of companionship, the comfort of shared burdens. They are alone, and in that solitude, they are vulnerable. Their laughter is hollow, echoing in empty halls, drowned out by the roar of their insatiable desires. And there I stand, a reflection of their own pride, a mirror that reveals the truth they refuse to acknowledge. I have tasted the bitter fruit of ambition and found it lacking, a mere shadow of the strength that blooms in the shadows. They sought to extinguish my flame, believing that in their arrogance, they could snuff out the light that I carry. But what they fail to realize is that I am not the flicker of a candle, I am the raging inferno that consumes all in its path. Time, the great equalizer, marches on, indifferent to the struggles of the proud. It is a relentless tide that washes away the sins of the past, revealing the stark reality that lies beneath. As they sit on their thrones, I watch the sands of time slip through their fingers, each grain a reminder of their fleeting existence. The weight of their actions grows heavier, and soon, the reckoning will come. They will learn that the storm they sought to unleash upon me will return, a vengeful force that knows no mercy. I find solace in this inevitability, a dark comfort that wraps around me like a cloak. The very ambition that once fueled their rise will become the chains that bind them. Their pride will blind them to the truth, and they will fall, not with a bang, but with a whimper, like the dying breaths of a once mighty beast. I will be there to witness it all, standing in the shadows, a silent observer of their unraveling. As the cycle of pride continues to spin, I embrace my role within it. I am not merely a spectator, I am the agent of their downfall, a force that will turn their own ambitions against them. Each calculated move I make will chip away at their facade, exposing the frailty hidden beneath their bravado. They will learn that to wield power without respect is to court disaster, and when the storm breaks, it will be a reckoning like no other. So let the proud continue their dance, their laughter ringing hollow in the air. They may think they are untouchable, but soon, the scales will tip, and the weight of their pride will become too much to bear. I will be waiting, a tempest in the shadows, ready to unleash the storm that will lay bare their true selves. The cycle of pride may be eternal, but so is the justice that follows in its wake. Ah, shadows, the cradle of strength, the womb of resilience. In the dim light of existence, where ambition meets its darker twin, one can find a power that the blinding sun of glory can never grant. It is in this obscurity that I thrive, where others falter beneath the weight of their own schemes. The storm that they conjured, believing it would consume me, has instead become my ally. It roars and howls in the night, a symphony of chaos that I now conduct with a maestro's finesse. They think they are the architects of their own fate, wielding power like a sledgehammer, but they are merely children playing with fire. Each flicker of ambition ignites a blaze that they cannot control, and from the ashes of their arrogance, I rise. The darkness is my canvas, and I paint with the strokes of dread and despair. Fear, that exquisite weapon, becomes my brush, and every whisper of the storm sends shivers down their spines. They will learn to dread the very winds they once thought would carry them to victory. While they bask in the sunlight of their illusions, I forge connections in the shadows, allies born from the very chaos they unleashed. The disenfranchised, the overlooked, the ones they cast aside, all of them see the glimmer of truth in my eyes. Together, we weave a tapestry of revenge, a binding force that will ensnare them in their own web of deceit. They believed they could isolate me, but now, they will feel the grip of their own solitude, the cold embrace of betrayal tightening around their throats. Each strategic move I make is a calculated step in a game they never knew they were playing. I turn their plans against them, like a serpent biting its own tail. The very strategies designed to extinguish my flame become the instruments of their undoing. They will find themselves entangled in a storm of their own creation, and I will stand at the eye of it all, a calm amidst the fury. With every turn of the tide, I reclaim the agency they so foolishly thought they had stripped from me. In this dark ballet, the stage is set for a reckoning. The storm is no longer a mere backdrop, it is the main act. It swells with anticipation, a thunderous applause for the chaos that is about to unfold. Each clap of thunder echoes the heartbeat of justice, a reminder that no act of malice goes unpunished. As the winds howl and the rain lashes down, I revel in the power born from this darkness. The storm serves as both shield and sword, protecting me while dismantling the very foundations of their hubris. And as I watch the storm gather strength, I feel a sense of purpose rise within me. I am not merely a survivor of their ambitions, I am the storm's harbinger. I will show them that power, when wielded without respect, is a double-edged sword that cuts both ways. The chaos they sought to unleash will return to them, a vengeance so profound that it will strip away their illusions and leave them bare, exposed to the harsh light of truth. In this moment, I embrace the storm, not as a foe but as a necessary force for change. It is a reminder that even in the darkest corners of existence, there exists a glimmer of strength. I will wield this strength, not in the pursuit of glory, but in the pursuit of justice. The storm is not just a tempest, it is a reckoning, a cleansing fire that will burn away the rot of their ambition. So let them revel in their false sense of security. Let them dance on the precipice of their own making, for soon enough, they will plunge into the abyss created by their own hands. I will be waiting, a specter in the shadows, ready to unleash the storm that will devour them whole. The darkness will not just be my shelter, it will be their undoing. Justice, the elusive wraith that dances just beyond reach, teasing and taunting those who dare to tread upon the path of selfish ambition. It is a cruel mistress, for it delights in the slow burn of anticipation, allowing the embers of consequence to smolder until they ignite into a conflagration. The conspirators, those architects of their own demise, think they can outrun the shadows they cast. But time, that relentless predator, is always watching, waiting, and weaving its intricate tapestry of retribution. It is in this waiting that I find my strength. The storm, once a tool of their ambition, now swells with the promise of reckoning. The air crackles with energy, thick with the scent of impending chaos. Each drop of rain that falls is a reminder of the weight they carry, the burden of their treachery that will soon come crashing down upon them. They believed they could manipulate fate, but they are mere puppets, dancing to the strings of their own making. As the chaos unfolds around them, I relish in the unfolding spectacle. The storm becomes a canvas for their failures, painting the sky with shades of despair. They scramble in the tempest, blind to the fact that every action has a consequence, every betrayal a price. The winds howl their dirge, a siren song that beckons them toward their own oblivion. They will learn that justice does not come swiftly, it arrives like a predator, patient and relentless, ready to strike when least expected. And what of morality in this tumultuous dance? It is a fragile concept, easily shattered by the weight of ambition. I stand at the precipice, gazing into the abyss of their misdeeds, and I cannot help but question the very nature of justice. Is it revenge cloaked in righteousness, or is it simply the inevitable return of all that was wronged? The lines blur as the storm rages, obscuring the distinction between victim and villain. In the end, does it matter? The truth remains, they will face what they have sown. The conspirators, once confident in their strategies, now find themselves ensnared in the web of their own deception. The storm they believed would consume me has turned its fury upon them, an unrelenting force that will strip them of their illusions. In their moment of vulnerability, I see the flicker of recognition in their eyes. They understand, perhaps for the first time, that the power they sought to wield has transformed into a beast of their own creation. The past, with its ghosts of arrogance and betrayal, rises to claim its due. So, let them tremble in the face of the storm. Let them feel the icy grip of fear as the winds howl louder, drowning out their cries for mercy. Justice may be delayed, but it is never denied. The clock ticks ever onward, each second a reminder that their time is running short. I will stand in the eye of the storm, a predator cloaked in shadows, waiting for the moment to strike. When the tides turn, and the chaos reaches its peak, I will unleash the tempest that will consume them whole. For in this storm, I find not just strength but clarity. The darkness is my ally, and in its embrace, I embrace my fate. I no longer seek validation from the world, I am the storm, the reckoning. I will wield the chaos, not as a weapon of destruction but as a harbinger of justice. The storm will cleanse the sins of ambition, leaving only the bare truth in its wake. It will reveal the hollow shells they have become, stripped of power, exposed to the biting winds of reality. And so, I await the climax of this tempest, a moment of reckoning that will echo through the annals of time. They will learn that the storm is not just an external force, it is a reflection of the chaos within. In their downfall, they will find the bitter taste of justice, served cold and unyielding. The storm will devour them, and I shall stand as the witness, the architect of my own fate, reveling in the symphony of their demise. The storm rages on, a wild beast unleashed upon the world. It howls with a ferocity that echoes the chaos inside us all. As the winds whip through the desolation, I reflect on the shadows that cling to the edges of ambition. Each gust carries with it the whispers of those who believed they could dance with power without consequence. They thought themselves untouchable, sitting high on thrones built of deceit, blind to the abyss that loomed beneath them. In this tempest, I invite you to confront your own storms. What lurks in the depths of your desires? What darkness have you nurtured in pursuit of your ambitions? The truth is, every soul harbors a tempest, waiting for the right moment to unleash its fury. It is in that very recognition that we must seek accountability. The chaos we create does not exist in isolation, it ripples outward, touching lives in ways we often fail to see. Consider the cycle of chaos, how it spirals back upon itself, seeking balance in a world plagued by imbalance. The storms return, relentless in their pursuit, reclaiming what was taken or corrupted. Those who rise too high often find themselves plummeting into the very depths they sought to escape. I have seen it before, the mighty fall, their pride stripped away, leaving only the raw, trembling essence of their humanity. In the midst of their downfall, they realized too late that their ambition was not a shield, but a shackle. Ah, the darkness of ambition. It glimmers with the allure of power, promising greatness, yet it casts long shadows that devour the soul. The more one reaches for the sun, the deeper the shadows grow. It is a paradox, a cruel twist of fate that many fail to grasp until it is too late. I stand as a testament to this truth, a mirror reflecting the very essence of their folly. My journey, though fraught with shadows, has taught me that strength is not found in the light, but in embracing the dark. As I navigate the chaotic landscape of my own desires, I find a peculiar strength in the shadows. They are not to be feared, but harnessed, for they hold the power to reshape one's destiny. The conspirators, in their blindness, believed they could wield the storm against me. Yet it is I who have learned to dance with the chaos, to manipulate it like a master puppeteer. The storm is my ally, and in its embrace, I discover the freedom to forge my path. But let us not forget the inevitability of reckoning. Time, that relentless judge, reveals intentions hidden beneath layers of ambition. The conspirators thought themselves cunning, but their web of deceit is now their prison. The storm they conjured has turned against them, and the winds howl with the promise of justice delayed. They will soon grasp the truth. The darkness they sought to wield is now their greatest adversary. In their moment of despair, I find clarity. The storm is not merely an external force, it is a reflection of the chaos within them. As they struggle against the tempest, they will face the consequences of their actions, their arrogance laid bare before the unforgiving winds. Justice, though delayed, will strike with a vengeance, and they will be left to reckon with the shattered remnants of their ambition. And so, I embrace this storm, this necessary force for change. It is a reminder that from darkness emerges strength, and from chaos, clarity. I will stand amidst the turmoil, unyielding, as the storm devours the remnants of their hubris. They will learn that power without respect is a fleeting illusion, and in the end, it is the storm that reigns supreme. In their downfall, they will awaken to the bitter truth that they themselves have sown the seeds of their destruction. Let the winds howl and the rains pour. I welcome the chaos, for it will cleanse the world of its delusions. In this reckoning, I find not just my strength, but my purpose. The storm is here, and it will consume them whole, leaving only the echoes of their ambition behind. The darkness is my ally, and in its embrace, I am reborn. Embrace the chaos that surrounds you. If you believe that true strength emerges from the shadows and that justice waits patiently in the wings, share this message. Comment on a moment when you harnessed your inner darkness to rise above your challenges, and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered insights that ignite the fire within. Remember, it's in the depths of despair where we truly find our power. Let the world hear your roar.